Hey guys, I wanted to come at you with a review for a movie I've been putting off for years for some reason. I never really had a strong urge to check it out, but as of recently I was on like a big Italian kick and decided to finally pick it up just because I've been, see what I was missing out on. Everyone's raving about this film, so I figured why not. And this came out in 1981 by Lucio Fulci. He did a couple of movies I liked a lot. I think he did Enigma. I'm pretty sure he did, which I really enjoyed. And he's done a bunch of other, like City of the Living Dead, and he's done other ones. But this was put out by Grindhouse Releasing in these like deluxe packs, which they do a really good job with. They did that with Cannibal Ferox and a bunch of other movies, Cannibal Holocaust. But essentially, this movie, I like it though that it takes place in Louisiana, and it starts off with like a flashback from the 20s and this hotel or whatever, and shit happens in this hotel, and it's discovered this hotel's built on one of the 7 doors of hell or whatever. So there's all that, and then flash forward to 1981, and there's a woman who inherits the hotel, and they're kind of restoring the hotel and doing all this and that to it, and they end up releasing the evil because it's obviously on one of the doors of hell. They bring like a plumber in, and he ends up falling victim to it. They just bring a lot of people in, they end up falling victim. And there's this whole thing with a painting in the beginning. I don't want to give anything away, but the painting does come into play at the end in a really badass way. There's this blind woman with a dog. Like, the less you know about this movie, the better you are going into it. But the lady with the dog was kind of creepy, really cool. There's a whole lot of acid burning in this movie. There's a whole lot of eye gouging and people being burned with acid in a really cool fashion. Like, it's done really well, so I really do enjoy that. There's one scene in particular where it has to do with like a jug of acid pouring on this woman's face, and she's melting and it's getting all bowling off, and the daughter's sitting there just looking in horror, and it's like 3 minutes straight she's just looking in horror. I really like that scene. And there's one scene in particular that's cool where this dude, what the hell, which dude? I'm trying to remember exactly why he fell. It's a little fuzzy, but he ends up falling. I don't remember the exact reason he ends up falling, but these tarantulas start coming out of nowhere, and they start like literally ripping his flesh apart. There's one, and then it goes to the point where one of the spiders like biting chunks out of his tongue. So that's really cool. There's a badass crucifixion scene. There's just in summary, there's just a lot of good gore scenes in this movie. Really cool gore. The zombies, they look like the Clayface kind of zombies back in the day, like Burial Ground and Zombie and stuff like that. But it still has a really good vibe to it. And the reason you do want to see this film is, I think, is the ending scene. It's beautiful. It's awesomely shot. Just the whole scenery. It looks like an old painting from like Salvador Dali or something. Just the whole landscape of this, the ending scene, and just the way their eyes look and how everything's done for that ending scene. It really packs a punch. But the picture quality in this release looks great. The blacks look really solid. A lot of the scenes that need to shine really shine. There are a lot of scenes that are really thick grain, but that is what it is. I mean, with an Italian film from this era. But it says the special features here are the spectacular high-definition transfer of the uncensored director's cut, 5.1 surround, and I got to give mention too real quick to the score. Love the score by Fabio Frizzi. Really eerie, awesome, like hammer-sounding score. It has commentary, Italian language soundtrack, and new in-depth interviews with all the stars, make anyone involved pretty much, besides Lucio Fulci, because he's dead, obviously. Rare archival interviews with Lucio Fulci, German pre-credit sequence in full color, liner notes, exclusive still galleries, and a bonus CD with the soundtrack, plus a lot of hidden gems, like little Easter egg special features you get by just navigating through the menu and all that. So yeah, that's The Beyond, put out by Grindhouse. It's worth whatever you find it for. You're probably going to be paying $22 to $25 for it. I mean, it doesn't really go below that. You may be able to find it for $20. on a good day maybe, but it's worth whatever they're asking for it. It's a beautiful packaging, loaded with special features. You get the soundtrack, the transfer looks amazing. Just a really badass release, and it's actually one of my favorite Italian horror films of all time. I just really dig the vibe of it, and the acting packed like a real punch for me. So I'm glad I definitely checked that one out. But anyways, guys, see y'all tomorrow. Peace.